These likewise are the ones sown on stony ground, who, when they hear the word, immediately receive it with gladness, and they have no root in themselves, and so endure only for a time. Afterward, when tribulation or persecution arises for the word's sake, immediately they stumble. This is a situation where you have men and women, Christian believers, who have made the commitment to follow Jesus. They've made the commitment and actually entering into this, what we call new covenant, where you taste and see that the Lord is good. And the Spirit of God comes upon you. You possess His holy truth. You possess the Messiah. This is an awesome moment. But then these types of Christians, something happens. Their comfort is called into jeopardy. They realize that, wait a second, the gospel comes at a cost. And that price might even be your own life. It might be imprisonment. It might be torture. Whatever the case may be, when this arises and you're confronted with this moment, then we discover how much you love Jesus. I want to actually take you back into church history. I'm going to take you back into the 2nd century again. And I want to do this by taking you to the writings of Eusebius. And as we navigate this and as we get through this, really what I want to accomplish today is perspective. I want you to have a perspective of these Christians and really what this means, what this looks like. And I think you're going to get that today. And so, with that said, let's jump into some church history. Eusebius records the following. He says, the greatness of the tribulation in this region, he's talking about the region of Gaul, and the fury of the heathen against the saints and the sufferings of the blessed witnesses, we cannot recount accurately, nor indeed could they possibly be recorded. Now, this is back in the 2nd century, and we know, starting in the 1st century, all the way into the 4th century, horrific persecution. And this commentator is bringing something to the table saying, you don't know the half of it. This persecution that was unleashed upon us was horrific. You know what that sounds like to me? It sounds like a tribulation that the earth had never experienced before. And really, as we continue in this, you're going to see that's kind of where he's bringing it. It's an unimaginable persecution. And look at this. The fury of the heathen against the saints. That is your precursor to knowing tribulation is coming. If you ever wanted a litmus test, go through all throughout history, even before the coming of the Messiah, and look at persecution against Israel, look at persecution against the Jewish people. It begins with hatred, with intolerance. What you believe, Jesus, and what he stands for, the truth of God's holy word, is offensive. And we see this already. We have people sitting in prison because they hold the truth in their heart that, you know what, abortion is murder. And to stand up against that, well, that to the world is a complete abomination. It's the evangelical Christians that are holding fast to biblical marriage and to biblical sexuality that is the problem today. And I'm telling you, you have to look at the reality because persecution is in front of us. It's already begun. And it is a tragic thing when people are totally disconnected from the reality of what is happening. I love what we read here in Psalm 105. He increased his people greatly and made them stronger than their enemies. It's interesting. This is a commentary on what God did while his people were in Egypt. You have God's holy people in Egypt enslaved. And what did God do? He went to go deliver them. And what he did is he increased them greatly and made them stronger than their enemies. What's fascinating about this is this is exactly what you read in Acts. With the church, he added to them daily. The Lord, with the gospel of Yeshua, he was adding to his people daily. And guess what? They grew stronger than their enemies. They had a power they had never known before. They had the power of the Spirit of God because they called upon the name of Yeshua. And we're told, he who is in you is greater than he that is in the world. That's what we're told. But pay attention. Because after this, the very next thing we read is right here. He turned their hearts to hate his people. The Lord opened the door for the adversary to come in. It's amazing to me that we see this pattern. And this is exactly what happened. When, on the onset of the gospel and the Lord increasing, all of a sudden the hatred mounted up, even from within their own brethren. And let's delve into this further, and we'll see this in Eusebius' writings. For with all his might, the adversary fell upon us, giving us a foretaste of his unbridled activity at his future coming. You know what this tells you? It tells you, man, the commentator here has the book of Revelation. He possesses the Bible. He knows about the rise of the Antichrist at the very end of the age and what is going to happen. And the writer is saying, in the 2nd century, we, the church, were tasting the reality of what was prophesied. It's tangible to us. That's an incredible statement to show you how great that tribulation was in early Christianity. He, the devil, endeavored in every manner to practice and exercise his servants against the servants of God. Yes, listen to me, the devil will send his servants after the elect. We are at war. This is what Revelation 12 talks about, that the dragon's enraged with the woman. He goes to make war with her. You know, one of the most notable scrolls found in the Dead Sea Scrolls is called the War Scroll. The entire thing, it talks about the sons of light against the sons of darkness and the havoc that the sons of darkness have on the sons of light. You know, if it's one thing I've learned is this. From Genesis to Revelation, this entire book is a book of war. It's all I read. I can't get away from it. Over and over, it's about the war. And we have to, as this generation continues to push forward, be mindful, don't be baffled, don't be in awe as to why good Christians are being persecuted for just stepping up and wanting to be good citizens, to love their neighbor as themselves. Why that's so offensive? Because the enemy has his servants and he has given them a mission. Take them down. That's where we're at. That's what we're up against.
Hey there, this is Mike at Fringe Ministries. Thanks for watching our video. If you liked the video or it encouraged you, do us a favor. Hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the share. And if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button. Now, if you want to watch the rest of this video, hit the button here. And if you want to watch the rest of this series, you can check it out here. And don't forget, you can download the Fringe Ministries app today on any of your Play stores. Thanks for joining us at Fringe Ministries.